Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Chris and this is the Get Ahead family. Here I share information on how you can migrate abroad through studies, work, other opportunities, internships and so much more. So do well to subscribe to the channel and also check out the channel to see all the videos that you may be interested in. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you guys how to apply for the UK Skilled Worker Visa. The Skilled Worker Visa is a sponsored visa where if you get a job in the UK and you are a foreigner, your employer will give you a certificate of sponsorship to be able to apply for the skilled worker visa throughout the duration of the job that you got. I'm going to be taking you through a step-by-step application for skilled worker visa. A skilled worker visa is one of the work visas that foreigners can use to work in the UK. It is a right to work visa in the UK, and a skilled worker visa can be from 1 year to 5 years depending on the duration of your employment. If your employment is permanent, then your employer may choose to give you a certificate of sponsorship for 5 years and then you can renew whenever you want, or they can still give you a certificate of sponsorship for even if it's 1, 2, 3 years, and then when that expires you reapply for your visa. So when you remain in the UK with a skilled worker visa for up to 5 years, you can be able to apply for indefinite leave to remain in the UK. That means you can be able to permanently reside in the UK without the need for a visa. Now, for you to get a skilled worker visa, you must have gotten a job from a UK employer who is a licensed sponsor. Yeah, an employer who is registered with the UK Home Office as a licensed sponsor, and you must have gotten a job that meets the skilled worker visa requirements. If you want to know more about that, yeah, I would link the videos that I have made regarding skilled worker visa, the jobs that qualify for skilled worker visa, how you can get a job that can sponsor your skilled worker visa. Just check the description box, you'll see all the relevant videos. So let's get right into this video. So the first thing you have to do is, let's go to UKVI website. We're going to go to www.gov.uk. This is probably the most visited website on my laptop. So we're going to come down to work in the UK. No, not work. We're going to come to visas and immigration, and then we're going to say work in the UK. Skilled worker visa. I have already done an overview of the whole skilled worker visa eligibility and everything. So this video we're just going straight to application. So because we're just going straight to application, we're just going to come down here to apply. So you can decide to apply for a skilled worker visa whether you're inside the UK or outside the UK. This application is for those that are outside the UK. Apply from outside the UK. There are documents here, every single thing you need, and then apply now. Where are you planning to live? England, Scotland, Wales, or Northern Ireland, Jersey and Isle of Man, England. If you're going to live in Jersey, you signify. Do you have a current EU, EEA, or Swiss passport? No, I don't. I wish I did. Continue. Select a country to provide your biometrics, okay? For you to get a skilled worker visa, after you submit your application, you have to go and do your biometric capturing, okay? And you have to go to an authorized visa center in your country or the nearest visa center close to you. So I'm going to put Nigeria because I'm from Nigeria, and in Nigeria we have 2 visa application centers. If you want to find a visa application center, you just click here and it says you find a visa application center. So we're going to go down to Nigeria to find the center that is nearest to me. Nigeria, submit. So there are 3 visa application centers. So we have Abuja, we have Lagos, and we have Lagos Victoria Island. We have Lagos Ikeja, we have Lagos Victoria Island. So this is now the TLS website. This is the website that we are going to use to reserve appointment dates. So it says here, you must select a location even if you believe you are unable to provide your biometrics at any location. I have identified the location where I'll provide my visa. I want to choose. So if you come here and you don't like the country, or it is not the country that you're currently resident in, just check, I want to choose a different location, and then you can choose. But we've already identified Abuja, Nigeria. I have identified the location. Apply for a skilled worker visa. Use this form to apply from outside the UK for a skilled worker visa. You cannot add family members to this application. You must complete a separate form for your dependents. So if you're applying for a skilled worker visa, you can go with dependents. However, you have to do a separate application for them, not this particular one. You cannot include your dependent application in this one. You have to do a separate application for them. You can apply for a skilled worker visa if you have been offered a skilled job in the UK. You'll be working for an approved employer. Your job meets the minimum salary requirements, and you can speak, read, write, and understand English. So if you meet all of this, then you can apply. If your sponsor or employer has confirmed you are eligible for the health and care visa, you will get the opportunity to confirm this in your application. So for those applying for the health and care visa, I hear that they don't have to pay for immigration, health, or check. So I guess that's why this sentence is here. Before you start, Before you start your application, you have to read the guidance on eligibility, how to apply and required documents, fees, requirement for some professions to have overseas. So I have gone through this already. Check the description box to see all the videos that we have done considering the eligibility, document checklist and everything. Some people will need a criminal record. It depends on the kind of job, so you would know. You should make sure that you have your certificate of sponsorship provided by your sponsor to hand when you apply, as it has information you will need to complete the form. Your application is likely to be rejected if you do not have a certificate of sponsorship. So you cannot begin this application except your employer has sent you the certificate of sponsorship that contains the sponsorship number, the details of the employment, and so much more. So to apply for a skilled worker visa, you need to fill the application form in English, pay for the visa, book and attend an appointment, pay the health surcharge, and have your biometrics taken. You will be able to save your application and come back to it at another time if you need to. How we use your data. This is how the Home Office uses your data. So let's apply. So for you to start the application, you have to register an email. So I'm going to provide my email address. You have to register with the email address that you have access to, because that's the one you're going to use for the correspondence. Okay, your certificate of sponsorship. Do you have a certificate of sponsorship COS reference number? Priority and super priority services are available on student and most work groups. If available, you will be able to purchase this when booking your biometric appointment. So you can choose to do a priority visa application. That's your visa would come out faster than usual. The length of time for the visa decision is usually 3 weeks. But if you choose a priority or super priority option, to either come out in a week for priority or 24 hours for super priority with additional costs. Do you have a certificate of sponsorship reference number? Yes, I do. Okay, so you have to provide the number. You see why you cannot make the application without getting a COS? So I'm just going to go straight to my COS and copy the number here. So your COS will give you all the details you need to make the application. So this is the number. You may use email. We may use email to contact you about your application. For example, we may contact you for further information or send a decision on your application by email. We may also use email to contact you about your immigration status after your application has been decided. You must notify us immediately if the contact email address you provide as part of this application changes. This is the email I provided. If your email is wrong, click here to change. So the email is not wrong. Who does this email belong to? It belongs to me or somebody else. So it belongs to you. Do you have another email address? I just say no. If you have another one, we provide. But I don't have another email that I use, so I'll just use that. We may contact you by telephone if we have any further questions about your application or about your immigration status after your application has been decided. You must notify us if your phone number changes, so you provide your phone number here. Provide your telephone number. 080. Where do you use this telephone number? For use whilst in the UK, for use out of the UK. So because it's out of the UK, I'm just going to put +234 so that they understand that it's a Nigerian number. Select whether this is your home mobile or work telephone. This is my mobile telephone. Do you have another telephone number? No. Abi? So I'm going to say yes. I'll put my another telephone number just in case. I'm going to put plus. Where do you use this number? For use whilst in the UK. Yes. Select whether this is your home. It is my business telephone number. Just your home telephone number. And mobile. I'll just say mobile. Do you have any other telephone number? No. Are you able to be contacted by telephone? I can be contacted by telephone call and text message. Yes. I can only be contacted by telephone call. I can only be contacted by text message. I cannot. So you select the one that applies to you. For me, I can be contacted by telephone call and text message. What is your preferred contact number? This one. So you choose your preferred contact number. Enter your name as shown on your passport or travel document. My name is... Given name is always the first name. So your given name and your family name is your surname. I do not have a current passport or travel document. So if you do not, then you click here. If you click here, they will tell you that if you do not have a passport or travel document, you can use a biometric residence permit. Blah, blah, blah. So, but I do have. If you don't have both given name, you will now enter your names. I do not have both a given and family name. Enter your name. So you enter the one that applies to you. So this is the name as written in my passport, given name and family name. Send. In addition to the names already provided, are you now or have you ever been known by another name? You must provide all your names. For example, if you change your name after marriage or have a different name that you use for professional purposes. No, I don't. If you do, you provide, okay? I don't. What is your sex as shown in your passport or travel document? You can choose unspecified or what's the harm? What is your relationship status? I am single. Why? Most people ask me if I am single. Why are you rubbing it in my face? Please, oh. If you're unsure of your current relationship status, please. Single means that you have never been married or in a civil partnership and that you do not currently consider yourself in a relationship. Unmarried partnership means that you currently consider yourself in a relationship but are not married or in a civil partnership. Well, let me choose the one that is. I'm alone, I'm single. Let's continue. Address. So you're going to include your address. I'm going to say this is my address, number 2. Put your permanent address, not a UK address because you're applying from your country. So you put the address, your residential address, Nigeria. Is this address also your correspondence address? We may use this address to contact you about your application, including after it has been decided. Yes. If it is not your contract address, you provide your contact address. But it is my contact address. So let's go. How long have you lived at this address? All my life. All my life I have lived in this address. I'm going to put 10 years because all my life I have lived in this address. Although I go to different places. This is my permanent address. I can go to a different country, go to a different state in Nigeria. But you see this address, that is my home. What is the ownership status of your home? I own it, I rent it. Well, if you're living in your father's house, you own it. It's not your house now. I just put order because it is not my house. I am not paying rent in that house. And I do not own it. Give more details about your living situation, such as who you live with and who owns the property. My parents own the property. And I live with them. And I live with them. My parents own the property and I live with them. Chikida, period. You must use your passport or travel document to complete this section. Passport number. Where is my passport? Oh, yeah, where you did? Come out. Let's see. I got my passport. So, passport number or travel document reference number. So, you have to include your passport number. Issuing authority. On your passport or travel document, this could also be referred to as country of issue or place of issue. So, you see, there is authority here. See? So, authority, that's issuing authority. I would say use what is on your passport. Use what is on your passport. Issue date. When was your passport issued? Date of issue. So all these things are on your passport. So just look at your passport and use the details there. Enter date information. So expiry date. Just use the date. My passport will soon expire. Oh wow. Interesting. You save. Do you have a valid national identity card? This includes identity cards issued from non-UK government. This does not include driving license. I wanted to use my driver's license. If you have an internal passport, provide the details here. No, I don't have an internal passport though. If you have, then you're going to provide the details. Me, I don't get to. National identity card, no. It's international passport I have. If you have a national identity card, that's for Nigerians, it's NIN, right? If you have that NIN card, then you put it because they're going to ask you the issue date, expiry date, and all of that. I don't have, so I have NIN, but I don't have the passport, the identity card, whatever. Your nationality, country, and date of birth. Country of nationality. I'm a Niger girl. Country of birth. Now Niger all the way. Place of birth. Enter your place of birth. For example, the city or province as shown on your passport. Exactly. I wanted to say that place of birth is on your passport. As shown on your passport too. So where's my place of birth? Place of birth is that's what is written on my passport. So date of birth. Of course, you have to ensure that whatever details you provide is the correct details and is consistent. For example, 21st March. So this is how you follow this format to provide your date of birth. 2 digits for the month, 1 digit for the year. 2 digits for the date, 1 digit for the month, and the full for the year. So I follow their format. I save. Do you currently hold or have you ever held any other nationality or citizenship? No, sir. If I did, if for better. But I don't. So I say no, and we move. We may have to talk to you about your application. Which language would you prefer? Please, English for now. I will soon learn French and Spanish. If you are applying as a doctor, dentist, nurse, midwife, or vet, have you passed an English language assessment accepted by the relevant regulatory professional body as a requirement for registration? So this is very important, right? If you are in any of these professions, that means you need to write the English language requirements approved by the regulated body in the UK before you make this application. I am not in this your field. You see? So you can find this information on your COS. Say, yeah, this information is on your COS. So for me, I say no. If you're applying as a doctor, I say no because it does not apply to me. If it applies to you, you say yes. You must have been granted a visa or permission to stay after meeting the language requirement at level B1 or above. For example, Jesus, what is this? Have you provided evidence of your English language ability in a previous application? Oh, sorry, I don't know why. I didn't see this. Have you provided evidence of your English language ability in a previous application? Yes. When I was applying for my student visa, that's student general visa, for student visa, I provided evidence of English language. So now that I'm applying for the skilled worker, I don't have to do that again. This thing is once and for all. So, have you provided evidence of your English language ability in a previous application? Yes, a very, very big yes. You must have been granted a visa or permission to stay after meeting the language requirements at level B1 or above. For example, like all of these are the different ways you must have been granted. If you were a student, your sponsor confirmed on your cards that you met the required level. I say yes. Because if you have not applied for UK visa before and you have not met the English language requirement, then you would have to meet. So if I say no, they'll ask me to meet. But if I say yes because I've already fulfilled the requirements, I'm gonna proceed. Uzime says academic PhD. Now wow, do you have an academic PhD? No, sir. Please, I don't. You don't want me to do PhD? This includes any PhD based on study or research at university. If your PhD is relevant to your job, I know why they're asking this question. I know why. For you to qualify to apply for a skilled worker visa, you have your salary, the salary for the job you're applying for has to meet the minimum requirement. It has to meet the going rates in UK for that job. Now, but there are exceptions. The exception is if you have a PhD or the job is related to a PhD, then you don't have to meet that going rate. There are exceptions. So I'm sure that's why they're asking this question. This includes any PhD based on study or research at a university. If your PhD is relevant to your job in the UK, we will consider it as part of your application. You see, I say no. Do you have an academic PhD? I say no, please. I only have masters. I don't want to do past myself. Give details about your first parents. Give details about 2 of your parents. What if I do not have my parents' details? If you don't have your parents' details, you take care. But I don't want to raise. I have my parents' details. What is this person's relationship with you? Mother. Let me provide my mother's name first. Given name. Provide your parents' name, family name. If they do not have both a given name and family name, enter their names in given names field. Date of birth. You have to know your mommy's date of birth. Country of nationality, Nigeria. Have they always had the same nationality? Yes. If you don't have the right information, you have to confirm. No, I already provided my mom, so I'm going to provide my dad now. Give details about another parent. What is the parent's relationship with your father? Given name. Family name. Date of birth. Country of nationality, Nigeria. And have they always had the same nationality? Yes. If you say no, they'll ask you their country of nationality when you were born. So have they always had the same nationality? Yes, please. Family who live in the UK. Family who live in the UK. Do you have any family in the UK? This includes immediate family such as spouse, civil partner, parents or children, grandparents or grandchildren. Your spouse. I don't have any family in the UK. Unfortunately, I'm the only family. I will soon have in Jesus' name. So I say no, we move. Where you will stay in the UK. Do you know where you will be staying in the UK? Yes. If you don't know, you say no. But I know. What address will you be staying at work in the UK? You will be able to add details of any additional places you will be staying after you click save. So if you're going to be staying with a friend for a time being before you find your own accommodation, then you have to provide your own friend's details. Or if you're going to be staying in a hotel, then you have to provide the hotel details. They are saying that you'll be able to add details of any additional places you'll be staying after you click save and continue. So I'm going to put the postcode of where I'm going to stay. We're going to find the address. Okay, so you have to put the other places you will stay while in the UK. You will be staying. Will you be staying anywhere else in the UK? If you say yes, you're going to provide the further details. This includes staying in a hotel or bed and breakfast, accommodation provided by an employer, a private home with friend. You see, I already said this. So I say no. I'm kind of staying on my own. I'm a big girl. UK travel history. They're going to ask you of your UK travel history, of course. Have you been to the UK in the past 10 years? Yes, I have. If you say no, good for you, just move on. But yes, how many times have you been in the UK in the past 10 years? Just one time like this. All of you that have been traveling every month, good for you. You're going to list out all the times you've traveled. For me, just one time. I just say one. Because they're going to ask you details of your entry and exit. Your previous time in the UK. Select why you were in the UK. Were you, if it's tourism, work, study, transit, or that was studies for me. Date you arrived in the UK. If not that I remember, but this calls for passport. You have to go and bring your passport. Because it is only your passport that you can use to answer this question. So when did I enter UK? Where's that stamp? Come on. Yeah, I entered the UK 27 September 2020. I didn't ask me when I left. Do I remember? I remember, Jerry. Date you arrived in the UK. Okay, they're not. It's just one time here, which is even easier. Why did I go and carry my passport? I remember. 2020. That's September 2020. How long were you in the UK? Select a unit of time and enter a value. It was years, right? I say months because I was there for 14 months. I entered September. October, November, December, January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September. October, November, December. I was in the UK for 15 months. So. Medical treatment in the UK. Have you ever been given medical treatment in the UK? For example, if you visit a doctor, clinic, or hospital, this counts as having medical treatment. Yes, so when I was a student now. Well, when I was a student, were you told, if you have never visited a hospital in the UK, please say no. If you have, like me, were you told that you had to pay the hospital, clinic, or doctor's surgery for your medical treatment? No, because this does not include immigration health surcharge. No. Did I pay? I did not pay. I didn't pay for my prescription. But this question says, were you told that you had to pay for the hospital, clinic, or doctor's surgery, that's GP, for your medical treatment? No. Because I already paid for my biometric. If you say yes, they're going to ask you, have you paid in full? They want to know if you're owing the hospital. No. I did not owe anybody. But if you say yes, and they say, have you paid in full, the full amount? Well, I not owe anybody. Please. Details of previous medical treatment in the UK. Yeah. Where did you go for your previous medical treatment in the UK? You will be able to add details of any additional medical treatment after you click Save. Accident and emergency at a hospital? No. To a doctor, clinic, or hospital for non-emergency treatment? Yes. Right. Have you ever been given medical treatment in the UK? Yes. Were you told that you had to pay the hospital, clinic, or doctor surgery for your medical treatment? No. Save and continue. Details of previous medical treatment in the UK. Where did you go for your previous medical treatment in the UK? It was a doctor, name of hospital, clinic, or doctor surgery. What was carpenter's practice? I still remember my GP. This address must be in the UK. Last name of hospital was Carpenter's. Address, it was High Street. I'm going to check for the postcode for Carpenter's practice. See it here. I've seen it. High Street. Postcode was London. When did you start receiving this medical treatment? I'll say October 2020, because that was the GP I registered me. When did you start receiving this medical treatment? I would say, I'll just say November, because I left in December. November 2021. That was when I stopped, because I left in December, so by November I must have stopped. Any other medical treatment in the UK? Have you ever been given any other medical treatment in the UK for which you were told you had to pay but have not yet paid? No, I beg. People should not. You want to put in the box? No. If you have never visited the UK, this question will not stress you. Have you applied for leave to remain in the UK in the past 10 years? No, I have not. What is leave to remain? Leave to remain is an application made whilst in the UK, asking permission to stay in the UK. No, I did not do leave to remain. So yeah, if you have been in the UK before and you applied to maybe for an extension of visa while you're still in the UK, then that's leave to remain. For me, no. So I say no. Send and save. National insurance number. Do you have a national insurance number? Yes, I do. Check what a national insurance number is. It is on your national insurance card, benefit letter, payslip, or P60. I do have a national insurance number. National insurance number is the number that you can get as a social security number that you can use for payment, to receive your payment. That's like using to identify your financial records in the UK. So if you're a current student, you have national insurance number, and that national insurance number is still valid. Okay, so I'm going to still use my national insurance number that I was using while I was a student. I say yes, Department for Work and Pension will use this information to check your national insurance number. The number will be on your biometric residence permit. Oh, okay, so that means the national insurance number will now be there in my biometric residence permit. What is your national insurance number? I can go find out. So if you don't have a national insurance number, it's not a problem. Just say no. Once you arrive in the UK, you will be able to apply for a national insurance number. Let me find my NIN. So you click continue. So I provided my national insurance number, driving license. Do you have a UK driving license? No. If you say yes, they're going to ask you for a driving license number. If you have, please provide. I don't have. Don't worry. I'll soon have. I'm coming. But I don't have. So I say no. Public funds. Have you received any public funds money in the UK? This includes benefits for people on low incomes, housing or child benefits. No. So the UK government usually gives people on low. If you earn a certain amount of money below a certain amount and you have kids, they may be giving you child care, child support, housing. I have not. If you have, please provide. For me, no. If you say yes, provide. For me, is no. Travel to Australia, Canada, New Zealand, USA, Switzerland, or the European Economic Area. How many times have you visited the following places in the past 10 years? I've not been to any of these countries yet, but very soon. They say which countries are part of the EEA. These are them. I'm not going anywhere, but very soon I will. Trust me. I say 0. If you have gone once, you say once. So if you have visited any of the country once, twice, 3 times, just provide the number of times. I've not. But next year like this, I will go. I said 0 times. People, some of the travelers, Ajala that I know some of my friends that are Ajala travelers, they will say 6 or more times. So I say 0. World travel history. Have you been to any other countries in the past 10 years? Do not include visits to any of the, the countries they already said, don't include that one. They say any other. I say yes, I have. I have been to the United Arab Emirates. So, which country did you visit? I'm going to say here. I'm going to provide the country that you visited. What was the reason for your visit? Tourism, including visiting family, work, study, transit, other. What was the reason for your visit? Tourism. When did you enter this country? State the date that you entered. When did I enter? I entered 10 July. July 7, 2022. When did you leave this country? So you mentioned the dates that you left. 19. Any other world travel? Have you been to any other country in the past 10 years? No. That's if you have been to another. So you have to keep providing all your travel history. Your planned travel information. Dates you plan to arrive in the UK. Enter dates. Dates you plan to arrive in the UK. So enter the date that you plan to arrive in the UK. Why is this information important? If your application is successful, you'll be granted a visa to enter the UK. The visa will only be valid for entry to the UK for 90 days. If your visa expires before you travel to the UK, you will have to apply for a replacement visa. After you arrive in the UK, you will collect a biometric residence permit, which will show that you have permission to remain in the UK. So immigration history. For either the UK or any other country, have you ever been refused a visa, refused entry, refused permission to stay or remain, refused asylum, deported, removed, required to leave, excluded or banned? No. So if it applies to you, you say yes. For me, it is no. Breach of UK immigration law. Have you ever entered the UK legally, remained in the UK beyond the validity of your visa, breached the conditions of your leave, for example, worked without permission or received public funds when you did not have permission, given false information when applying for a visa, leave to enter or leave to remain, breach UK immigration law in any other way? No. Convictions and other penalties. At any time, have you ever had any of the following in the UK or in another country? If you have had convictions, a penalty for driving offense. If you've had a penalty for driving offense, a criminal conviction, for example, disqualification for speeding or no motor insurance, an arrest to charge for which you are currently on, a caution, warning or reprimand, a civil court judgment against you, for example, non-payment of debt, a civil penalty issued under immigration law. No, I have never had any of these. Thank you. I've never. You must tell us about spent as well as unspent convictions. You must tell us about any absolute or conditional discharges you have received for an offense. No, I have never had any of this. War crime. You must read all of the information on this page before answering. In either peace or war times, have you ever been involved in or suspected of involvement in war crimes, crimes against humanity or genocide? These are the war crimes you want to see. You can read through. No, I have read through the information. Yes, I have. Terrorism activities, organized and views. You must read all of the information on this page before answering. Read all the information. What terrorism activity entails. Have you ever been involved in or supported or encouraged terrorism activities in any country? No. Terrorism organization, that's what they mean. Have you ever been a member or given support to an organization which has been concerned in terrorism? No, please. Have you by any means or medium expressed views that justify or glorify terrorism violence? No. I have read all the information about terrorism activity, terrorist activities, organizations and views, including the guidance. I have read. Extremist organizations and views. You must read all the information on this page. Extremist organization, this is what they mean. You have to read through. Me, I have not to. Have you ever been a member of or given support to an organization which is or has been concerned with extremism? No. Extremist views, these are extremist views. Have you by any means or medium expressed views that oppose fundamental British values, including democracy, the rule of law, individual liberty, mutual respect and tolerance of different faiths? Call for the killings of members of our armed forces? God forbid. No. I have read everything. I have read, and it's no. Person of good character. Have you, as part of your employment or otherwise, undertaken paid or unpaid activity on behalf of a non-UK government which you know to be dangerous to the interest of national security? No. Have you ever engaged in any other activity which might indicate that you may not be considered to be a good person? No. I'm a very good. In fact, I'm a lovely human being. I'm very nice. Is there any other information about your character or behavior which you would like to make us aware of? If you say yes, they say give further details. If you say no, yeah, just say no and move away. Your employment history. Have you ever worked for any of the following types of organizations? Armed forces. So, take the organization that you have worked for. Government. I have not worked for government. Intelligence, security, media organization, judiciary. I have not worked in any of these. Any of the jobs listed above. If you have worked in any of these places, please indicate yes. Sponsor license number. What is your sponsor license number as shown on your certificate of sponsorship? Your sponsor is the organization you will be working for in the UK who are sponsoring you. So, if you check your cards, you'll see your sponsor license number. Sponsor license number is this. You just copy and go and paste. And you paste your sponsor license number and save. Sponsor certifying maintenance. Has your sponsor agreed to certify your maintenance on your certificate of sponsorship? If you do not know the answer to this question, ask your sponsor. If the sponsor has agreed to certify your maintenance, you will not need to provide proof of finances such as bank statement. So, you know that they need proof of funds for at least 1 month for you to be able to apply for your visa. And this 1 month is £1,270 or equivalent. So if your employer is going to take care of that, if your employer signifies in the cast that they are going to certify your maintenance, then you say yes. As your sponsor agreed to certify your maintenance or your certificate of sponsorship, yes. Because they say if your sponsor has, you will not need to provide proof of finances such as bank statement. If your sponsor has not, you have to confirm, or you are not sure. You cannot just say yes when you are not sure. You have to ask your sponsor, or if it is not on the cards, you have to confirm from your sponsor. Your planned employment in the UK. What is the title of the job you are coming to the UK to do? This must be work you are doing for your sponsor. That's the title of the job you got. Provide. How much will you be paid in GP in pounds per year to do this job? Enter the amount before tax is taken off, including any allowances or bonuses. Enter 0 if you do not receive a salary. So you have to go to your contract of employment and you see the salary you're supposed to receive. Then you provide the salary. See, overseas criminal record checks. Have you reviewed the guidance on professions that require an overseas criminal record check? Yes. If your employment is under a standard occupation code listed in the criminal record certificate guidance, you will need to provide a criminal record certificate from any country you have been present in for 12 months or more in the last 10 years. So I had checked, mine, it wasn't there. So on the skilled worker overview page, you will see some jobs that require criminal records. If your job requires criminal records, then you have to provide, but mine does not. Have you reviewed the guidance on professions that require an overseas criminal record check? Yes. I continue. Professions requiring overseas criminal record check. Is your employment in a profession that require an overseas criminal record check? No. If it is yes, you provide yes, but mine is no, because I've already reviewed. Health and care visa. Has your sponsor or employer confirmed you are eligible for the health and care visa? If you are not sure if you are eligible, look at the eligible requirements and check whether your sponsor or employer. So, has your sponsor or employer confirmed you are eligible for the health and care visa? No, I am not. I'm not eligible. I'm not eligible. So you say no. If you're eligible, you say yes. I confirm I have checked the eligibility requirement for the health and care visa, and I understand that if I am not eligible, my application may be rejected. So I am not under health and care visa. So no. Applying as a midwife or nurse. Are you applying as a midwife or nurse? No. If you're applying, you say yes. They're going to ask you to confirm the details. That you've obtained your full registration, that you've passed your computer-based test. So I say no, because I'm not applying as a midwife. Shortage occupation list. Is your job with the university already on the shortage occupation list? No, it is not. If your job is on the shortage occupation list, please indicate. It's going to be on the CAS, okay, or your certificate of sponsorship. So you say yes. If you say yes, it's good for you. Because jobs in the shortage occupation list have less criteria, okay, but those that not have higher requirements. So my job is on the shortage occupation list. You see. Certificate of sponsorship length. What is the length of your certificate of sponsorship? Ask your sponsor if you are unsure. It is 3 years or less, more than. My certificate of sponsorship is less than 3 years. You're going to see the duration on your CAS or your contract of employment. 3 years or less. Academic technology approval test. If you are working in research in certain sensitive subject, knowledge of which could be used in programs to develop weapons of mass destruction or their means of delivery, you will need to apply for ATAS. Do you need to obtain permission for ATAS from the ATAS? No. If your job needs permission, then you say yes, because you will need to obtain the ATAS before you make the application. So it's no for me. Additional information about your application. If you needed to add more information about your application but we're not able to, you can write it here. If there is no further information you want to add, click the save and continue button. There's really no information I have to add, to be honest. Save and continue. Check your answers. Register. You have to check your answers. You would have to check all your answers. If anything is not correct, you have to correct it. Check your answers. And if you want to continue, after you have gone through, filled the application itself, this is the document that the visa office needs. Mandatory document. These documents are mandatory and you must provide them as part of your application. Tick the box to agree that you will provide each document. The passport or travel document for Kusemese from Nigeria. I have that. After you submit your application, you must provide your documents to our commercial partner. You can provide your documents by uploading copies of your documents yourself through our commercial partner's website free of charge. Taking your documents, originals or copies to your appointment where our commercial partner will scan them for you for a fee. If you choose to pay for the assisted scanning service, all documents, original or copies need to be A4 size, or you may be charged to make them suitable for scanning. If we require passports, you must take the original to your appointment. If you have self-uploaded copies on your commercial partner's website, you must still take your original passport, but will not be charged for scanning. You may need to be tested for tuberculosis. If your test shows that you do not have TB, you will be given a certificate which is valid for 6 months from the date of your X-ray. Include the certificate with your UK visa application. Check if you need a to get tested. So you would need a tuberculosis test if you're from certain countries such as Nigeria. However, there is an exception for those who have traveled to a different country that does not require a certificate of tuberculosis test, and you've been in that country for up to 6 months before you make your application. Declaration. If your application is successful, there will be a condition on your visa or leave to remain. This will include, for example, whether you are able to work in the UK. If you stay in the UK without permission, you can be detained, you can be prosecuted, you can be removed, you will not be allowed to work, you will not be able to rent a home, you will not be able to claim any benefit, you can be charged by NHS, you can be denied access to a bank account. So this is a declaration. By sending this application, you confirm that to the best of your knowledge and belief, the following is correct: the information relating to the application, the supporting evidence. Understand that the data I have given can be used as set out in privacy policy. I consent to organizations, including financial institutions, providing information to the Home Office when requested in relation to this application. Understand that any passport, travel documents submitted in support of my application, which remain uncollected after 3 months. So these are the rules that you have to agree to, the terms and conditions. Understand that if false information is given, the application can be refused and I may be prosecuted. And if I am the applicant, I may be banned from the UK. I confirm that I am the applicant age over 18, I am the applicant age under 18, I am. So you tick the one that applies to you. So these are the declarations. Check your answers. Check the information below before you continue to the next set. So I confirm I am the applicant, so you can continue to payment. So immigration health surcharge. You must pay your immigration health surcharge before you can complete your visa application. You will pay your IHS on another website, then return to this site to complete and pay for your application. If you are exempt, you will still need to get a reference number from the IHS website. Your IHS reference number will automatically be included on your application once you pay and return to this site. Your answers will be locked when you go to the IHS website, even if you do not pay your IHS straight away. If you need to make any changes to your answers, you must do so now. Check your answers. So if you need to make any changes to your answers, you have to do so before you proceed to payment for IHS, because if you pay for IHS, your answers are locked. So I'm going to just save this application and return to it later, because I have to check the answers later and confirm that I have enough money to pay. So we're going to continue this video when I am ready to make payment and proceed with the application. So I'm just going to say return to this application later. So application saved. Use the link below to return to your application. This is the link. Return to your application. So email this link to, you must return to your application within 10 weeks or it will be deleted to protect your privacy. Download your part completed application PDF. So I'm going to send the link to my email, return to your application. So they have sent me email sent, the link to your application has been sent to. So they have sent me the link and I will continue this application later.